The following is a special presentation of ESPN on ABC.
The spotlight today in the final race of the NASCAR season shines squarely on Jimmie Johnson, the Southern California native who tries to put the wraps on something that's only been done once before in Sprint Cup Series history: win 3 consecutive championships. The great Cale Yarborough, one of NASCAR's all-time best, did the triple in 1976, 7, and 8. After winning the title in 2006 and again in 2007, Johnson enters the season finale today with a chance to join Yarborough in the history books. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series trophy will be awarded later this afternoon, a champion celebrated in South Florida.
You know, you run all year, you want to win everything, and if you can't win everything, then maybe you can win the championship.
It's what every driver looks forward to and plans their lives around, basically. I mean, it is everything in our sport.
Being a champion, I mean, it's your ultimate goal and dream. Once you've accomplished it once, there's nothing more than you want than to do it again.
Being a champion is achieving that goal that you've worked all your career thinking about.
When you have the entire season's work on the line, and really your life's work to get you to that point, it doesn't matter what position you're in, that pressure's going to be there, and you've got to go out and achieve your goal that day. Doesn't matter if it's a big gap or a small gap, that pressure is going to show up, especially at Homestead.
Yeah, we roll, boys.
Today we will crown a champion.
Awesome job. Awesome job.
An entire season's work is on the line today as the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup concludes with the Ford 400 from the mile-and-a-half Homestead-Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. When the season began 10 months ago in Daytona, every driver in the field dreamed of winning that trophy, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship trophy. And there it stands, all shined up and ready to go.
Trackside for the command to get them fired up.
Race fans, are you ready? The time is now. It's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command for today's Ford 400, the great-grandson of Henry Ford and member of the Ford Motor Company Board of Directors, Edsel B. Ford II.
On behalf of Ford Motor Company employees and Ford retailers across our country, gentlemen, start your engines.
All right, buddy, fired up. Fired up when you're ready. Fired up. Fired up. Crank it up. Crank it up.
Have a good day, guys. Be solid in the pits. Let's go out and get the job done, and we're going to do it.
We appreciate it. All the effort all year long. It's been a strange year for all of us, but I really enjoy all of you. Appreciate it.
Engines have fired, and 43 of NASCAR's finalists for the 36th and final time here in 2008 are set to get it on here to bring down the curtain on what has been a fabulous season. Take a look at our starting grid. A very surprising front row. 38-year-old David Rudiman becoming the 4th first-time pole winner in 2008. He'll be flanked by rookie driver Scott Speed, and there is Carl Edwards starting in the 4th position. Now, while you watch to see where your favorite driver is starting, let's visit with our in-race reporter, the driver of the AMP Energy National Guard Chevrolet, who's starting back in 22nd, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Junior, Dale Jarrett, the ESPN. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Junior, I know you're getting ready for 400 miles here, but could you take a second and reflect back on this year and let us know, is this pretty much what you expected to happen as you made your move, or are you more pleased with everything than you imagined?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that I'm more pleased with. I'm really happy with the people that I'm working with. Really happy with the structure of all the teams and how the whole company works. I'm really pleased with just being in that environment, and I feel well prepared every weekend due to all the people back at Hendrick and all the work that they do to get these cars the way they are when they show up to the racetrack. So it's a great feeling. That's better than I thought it would be, if that's even possible. But we'd like to run better in the last half of the season and during the chase, obviously. But I can't complain about the type of race cars I show up to the racetrack with, and that's all you can ask for as a race car driver.
Okay, let's turn to today. Did practice give you an indication that you have a car capable of winning this race today?
Well, a couple of people told me we were pretty good. The cars you know, even when they're driving great, you're running out front, there's still a bit of a struggle to drive, but lap time wise we look pretty good. So I like this racetrack, believe it or not, even though I ain't got a top 10 here, but I really do like running here, and hopefully we can take care of it today and get us the kind of finishes that we've been looking forward to getting here.
Okay, Junior, thanks for talking with us today and all season long. Have a great race. Now Andy's going to talk with your crew chief, Tony Eury Jr.
Hey, Tony Jr., Andy Petrie up here. Have you got us? Hey, Tony, this is a unique racetrack with this variable banking, and now we're going to race kind of into the night. How do you set up for all these changing conditions in the variable banking?
Well, what I think Junior tries to do is, you know, we know it during the night we're going to go back to the bottom of the racetrack, so we really tuned on our car for the first 10 or 15 laps to try to run around the bottom, make it as good as possible, but our car really runs good up top, so we'll probably start out running the bottom here, and then we'll ease to the top as the sun comes up, but I think when you win the race, you got to be back down the bottom, so that's what we're working pretty hard on the race.
Okay, Tony Jr., thanks a lot for talking to us, and good luck today.
And I appreciate it.
We'll look forward to riding along with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and talking with Tony Jr. throughout the afternoon. We'll also take you inside the other on-track action with 8 cars carrying onboard cameras, including both of our championship contenders, Jimmie Johnson and Carl Leverage. Back with more from Homestead in a moment. Beautiful sunny skies and swaying palm trees provide the setting as we welcome you back to Homestead-Miami Speedway, where we are just moments away from the start of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season finale, the Ford 400. This race will go green today in more ways than one. For the first time in NASCAR history, a hybrid electric vehicle will pace the field. And folks, here it is, the 2010 Ford Fusion Hybrid Pace Car. One driver on the verge of making history. And before we go green, let's listen in one more time to some radio communication.
Guys, you know what this is all about. Let's just go have a good day today. Nice and easy on all the pit stops. Like I said, boys, 13.5 average. That's going to get us what we need today. Nice and smooth, no mistakes. Hit our lug nuts, hit our jack post, get it full of fuel. Be no problems whatsoever.
All about leadership from Chad Knaus, and what a great leader he has been here for the last 2 years. They have come here and achieved the same results, a championship in NASCAR. So many great storylines will be following today. The history-making championship battle, the tussle to stay in the top 10, car owners' points, and more. To elaborate, let's go down to the pits first. Here's Dave Burns.
Catching Jimmie, Doc, that's what the chase has been all about ever since they won at Kansas in the 3rd race of the chase and have never looked back. His drive today has to be all about protecting that lead that he has. So, does Carl even have a chance? Well, of course he does. Come on. Carl's won 6 times on tracks very similar to this, intermediate tracks in this series this year. He's got a chance. They have to run the race, and if luck is inside, he might have a shot at the championship. Jamie?
Well, Dave, there's certainly a battle within the battle today in Homestead. You want to finish in the top 10 in points following this race. Why? Because you get invited to New York City in 2 weeks to go up on the stage and get announced in front of everybody in NASCAR. So who are the 2 guys sitting on the outside looking in? Kyle Busch and Tony Stewart, 11th and 12th in the points. Now, Tony Stewart, I just talked to him before he got in the car. He'd want nothing more than to go to New York City with this team one more time. He's pretty good at this track. He's won twice, but he's got to have a good finish today to jump up in the top 10. Mike Massaro?
And Jamie, what about pride? For a number of drivers in today's field, that's what today's race is all about. There's a virtual who's who's list of drivers so far who are winless in 2008. Guys like Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, and perhaps most notably, Jeff Gordon, who's not been shut out since 1993. A goose egg in the win column at the end of the day could make for a very long offseason. Conversely, a win, that could go a very long way, because the guy who goes to victory lane this afternoon has bragging rights all the way until February. Shannon?
Mike, the final battle you'll see on the track here today is the battle for the top 35 in owner points. Now, the major players in the game of who's in and who's out, Marcos Ambrose, Robbie Gordon, and the 84 of Red Bull Racing. Now, the 84 car is normally driven by Scott Speed, but in an attempt to gain the 17 points that team needs to get into the top 35, they've switched drivers. Brian Vickers will be behind the wheel of that car here today. Now, the winner of the top 35 in owner points does not celebrate in victory lane here today. Their celebration will come next season when they have guaranteed entry into the first 5 races of the season, including, Doc, the Daytona 500.
Thank you, guys. This broadcast is available in Spanish by activating your SAP button, presented by ESPN Deportes.